from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Rockford police arrest a man they say groomed and met with a child. It's the latest in a series of solicitation busts in the state line. Parents react to the disturbing allegations.
We can now broaden the number and type of locations where people can get vaccinated.
If finding time to get vaccinated for COVID is an issue, Illinois offers a solution. Some local workplaces are bringing the shot to you.
A new shelter set to open for women and children in need of a safe place. Organizers say it's necessary after more time at home amid the pandemic created a domino effect of abuse. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A Rockford man is behind bars accused of soliciting and grooming a child.
Police secured a warrant and arrested the man Friday. He's 26-year-old Travis Blomgren. Officers launched an investigation after receiving a tip that Blomgren was having inappropriate contact with a minor over the internet. He's charged with traveling to meet a minor, indecent solicitation, grooming, and distribution of harmful material. Blomgren is being held at the Winnebago County Jail. This is the latest in a string of solicitation arrests made by Rockford police. The events serve as a reminder for parents to touch base with their children.
A local school resource officer tells Michelle Rave it all starts by knowing what apps kids are using. Michelle?
Cases like these leave many state line parents worried for their children. I spoke with one local mom who says she's taught her kids from an early age the dangers of using certain apps.
It does worry me mostly because my kids don't understand that that's what could be happening. They think they're just talking to a friend in their game, but they don't understand that first off, that friend doesn't have to be who they say they are.
Alicia Conway is a mother of 2 boys. She says they've had access to phones and electronic devices for years now. But the first thing she did was establish some ground rules.
They both know that I'm allowed to look at their phone anytime I want. I repeatedly tell them that's my phone, you just get to use it. So they know that I can track what websites they go to, what apps they download, who they talk to.
Loves Park School Resource Officer Aaron Johnson says online predators know what kids are using online.
A lot of times, yeah, it's using apps. Snapchat's big with children, and it kind of gives them a false sense of security that the things that they put out on Snapchat are not going to be seen by anyone else, and that's rarely ever the case.
He encourages parents to regularly monitor their children's electronic devices.
As often as possible. I highly recommend, if you don't have all your kids' passwords, get them. Any of the antivirus software companies also offer family monitoring for apps, and there are different benefits to each one. I know if you go through cell phone providers, a lot of them do the same thing.
As for Conway, she says parents can never be too careful.
I'd say once a week, once every other week, I'm going through one of theirs just to make sure that the only people that they're talking to are people I know, or the only places they're going are the places I know.
Officer Johnson reminds parents minors are not covered by any privacy exploitation laws. Therefore, you can dictate how they use their phones. Mimi?
Michelle, thanks for that. The FDA expands the age range of who can receive the Pfizer vaccine. Kids between the ages of 12 and 15 can now get the shot. The dose was previously available only to those 16 and older. Next, an advisory committee with the CDC will meet and give their recommendations. If that committee approves the age extension, immunizations could begin immediately.
COVID vaccinations will now be available at work for some Illinoisans. Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot made the announcement this morning. 10 sites spread out between Rockford, Chicago, and Schaumburg will offer the shots. Here in the Forest City, Stewart Square on West State and Fifth Third Bank on South Alpine are included. State leaders hope more accessible vaccines means more people will get their shots.
Work is quite literally where the vaccines will be. Our vaccination teams will be showing up to major commercial buildings here in Chicago and other Illinois business districts to offer accessible, free vaccination opportunities to people in the comfort of their own workplaces.
The effort starts in mid-May. Front desk staff, custodial workers, security, building engineers, and other employees are encouraged to sign up.
Rockford bus riders will soon be rolling as normal once again. RMTD announced it will return to its pre-COVID schedule at the end of the month. That includes 19 daytime routes across Rockford, Loves Park, McChesney Park, and Belvedere. Nighttime service and late-night shuttles will also be reinstated. Fare collection and front door boarding will resume May 30th. An updated RMTD ID will be required. As Illinois prepares to enter the bridge phase Friday, local attractions prepare to welcome back guests. The Children's Hands-On Museum of Northwest Illinois in Freeport will fully reopen Friday. Hours run from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, Fridays and Saturdays. That schedule will expand in the coming weeks. Museum staff say new exhibits are in the works and volunteer opportunities are available.
A public safety issue is addressed in Rockford. Last week we told you about growing concerns over the Elks Club property downtown. Recent storms damaged the roof. River District board members tell us Argyle Properties, the owner of the building, made repairs. Despite the removal of immediate danger, the River District board wants the local court system to make sure Argyle Properties maintains the structure. There will be a hearing May 19th.
Rockford Housing Authority celebrates a program that's helped many families improve their lives. The Jobs Plus initiative was made possible by a more than $2 million HUD award. In addition to a roof over their heads, the program empowers residents to secure higher paying jobs and bridge a path out of poverty. Jobs Plus also features job readiness classes covering a range of topics from computer literacy to financial planning.
These classes were different from any other implemented before because these classes involved, as we said, the whole family. So not just the parents saw the way to a better life, but also did the children and the family members that chose to be involved.
Rockford Housing Authority has over 50 partnerships with key social service agencies within the community.
Since the COVID-19 outbreak, local police agencies say all types of violence against women and children have intensified.
A local shelter hopes to address those growing figures. Rachel Perry looked into the new resource in Stephenson County. Rachel, how has this impacted the state line?
Eric and Mimi, the executive director at Voices of Stephenson County, tells me they have seen more people coming to them for help since the pandemic began.
We've also seen a significant increase in the severity of violence in our community, more strangulations, and really again just going back to the need of having somewhere safe to go.
With the closest domestic violence shelter nearly 40 miles away, Voices of Stephenson County is doing something to change that.
In late summer, we are going to open on-site emergency shelter for survivors of domestic and sexual violence, and we hope to house roughly about 20 to 25 individuals.
Beth Mescal is the executive director at Voices of Stephenson County. She says one of the main barriers of leaving violent situations is having no long-term place to stay.
Prior to this, we have provided emergency shelter via local hotels and motels for safety.
Which is something prevention coordinator Sierra Ardson is excited to see change.
To have something in their immediate place where they're seeking services from, it'll definitely make a big difference for them.
That's why the facility plans to have 5 individual bedrooms with bathrooms, as well as a kitchen, living room, and outdoor seating with a spacious yard. Voices has even gone the extra step to make the facility dog-friendly.
It's kind of like being at home, yet, while they're getting themselves, ready to hopefully be back out.
Mescal says anyone who needs support from sexual or domestic violence can reach out for help.
We will support any survivors, so those can be single individuals, that can be a family, that can be men, women, children with a parent.
And now Mescal tells me they need the community's help to break the stigma and spread the word of available support services. Eric and Mimi?
All right, thanks, Rachel.
President Biden announces new steps to get more Americans back to work.
After the break, the one thing opponents say is holding the plan back.
Winnebago County health leaders outline what they expect to see schools do next year. Coming up tonight at 6, more shots in arms could result in more students sitting at desks.
Spot on our forecast high for this afternoon made it up to 59 degrees. That's 10 degrees below where we should be. While our temperatures warm during the afternoons, we've got that frost potential for a couple more nights. I'll have more on that in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
President Joe Biden released his administration's latest efforts to connect more Americans with jobs.
The measures include more funds to local governments, child care providers, and restaurants. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
22 million people lost their jobs in this pandemic.
President Joe Biden announced new federal actions on Monday to get Americans back to work.
A lot more people are going to be employed.
A new online portal will allow state and local governments to apply for more than $350 billion in recovery funds Congress approved earlier this year.
Make it possible for an awful lot of educators, first responders, sanitation workers to go back to work.
Relief checks will also go out to 16,000 of the nation's hardest hit bars and restaurants, with more to follow. The administration will give states guidance as well on how to provide funds to child care providers to stay open and subsidies to low-income parents to help cover the costs.
It's going to help working parents get back to work.
But many employers across the country say they can't fill jobs right now because of the expanded federal unemployment insurance. Some states have begun to opt out of the benefits. President Biden gave guidance on that, too.
Anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits.
There are a few pandemic-related exceptions, but Heather Boucher, a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, says data does not show Americans are staying home because of the benefits.
What we are seeing evidence of is that the economy is recovering from an historic pandemic.
However, there are still 8 million fewer jobs than when the pandemic began. In Washington, I'm Jessie Chnor.
Well, the calendar might say May, but the thermometer shows a different story.
Candice warns us frost could appear over the next few days. She times out the cool down after the break.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
We had a couple of light showers come down earlier today. Most of the afternoon has been dry, but you may have noticed a little bit more cloud cover moving in this evening. A live look with a Mercy SkyTrack camera up in Beloit, Wisconsin. We've seen those clouds kind of thicken over just a bit as a few lighter showers are working in across parts of southwest Wisconsin, kind of edging here close to the state line. Not really seeing much of that actually reaching the ground, although we'll still hold on to an isolated shower here as we go through this evening. Showers, thunderstorms lining up south of Interstate 88, more along Interstate 80 and points southward here, even with a couple of thunderstorms across central Illinois. That's where most of the activity will stay here as we go through this evening. In fact, we've had a few thunderstorms produce some small-sized hail outside of the area. Nothing concerned for us, just a couple of those lighter, very scattered showers that'll be persistent, kind of as we're on the back edge of this upper level disturbance moving on through. That's part of the reason why we're able to see some of that cloud cover build back in. But once we get rid of the cloud cover tonight, the potential is there for some frost. And we've got a frost advisory that's been issued for most here of northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Lee and Whiteside counties not included in that. However, could still see some frost here during the overnight hours. Now, tonight is not the only night that will be dealing with that frost potential. Temperatures in the 30s tonight. We're back down to 35 degrees tomorrow night and 38 degrees Wednesday night. That'll be our last night that we see these temperatures in the 30s. We'll start to warm things up, but it may be a couple of nights here where you're starting to bring any of those more sensitive plants in and having to cover things up too. A little bit of a concern, especially if we get some heavier frost. I don't think that's going to be a potential here, but tomorrow night it goes up a little bit just because our temperature could get closer to freezing in some spots now that some of the corn is actually starting to come up in the fields. Our latest spring 32 degree temperature or lower than that usually occurs here towards the beginning of the month. Our latest May 27th back in 1992. Last year, May 9th, our temperature dropped down to 29 degrees. With the cooler conditions today, we stayed in the 50s for most of this afternoon, and that's where our weather watchers sit here this evening. Ken in Belvedere, 54, Ben in South Beloit, 55, and Bob the last hour in Rockford at 59. Had a trace of rain come down. Again, isolated sprinkle or two possible as we go through this evening. That actually may hold on until about 10 or 11 o'clock. And then after that, after midnight, we start to clear things out. And that's where we've got that frost potential. High pressure does build in during the day tomorrow, so we'll see more sunshine for the afternoon. And in fact, our afternoons are going to be dry and will warm those temperatures up as well. But the downfall to that and the drier conditions and that dry air mass and high pressure leads to some colder nights. So we've got that frost potential again tomorrow night. A few more clouds moving in once we head into Wednesday. So 35 degrees, that's our overnight low temperature for tonight. Some clearing, again, widespread frost possible with those lighter winds. High temperature tomorrow up near 61, so just a smidge above where we were for this afternoon. And we continue to see that warming trend. In fact, those numbers will go up to 67 on Wednesday, 68 on Thursday, 70 on Friday. Looks pretty nice there. But guys, the chance for rain will return heading into the weekend. Looks like, though, we should see more seasonal temperatures with highs back close to 70.
It'll feel good once temperatures get back to where they're supposed to be. Thanks, Candice.
Scott's in next to talk sports. He says college athletes being able to make money off their name and image will be far for a cure-all for those athletes.
And Scott likes what he's hearing regarding some possible new rules for college basketball.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
The NCAA is hoping to have in place by July 1st rules allowing its athletes to be paid for the use of their name, image, and likeness. It's something that's long overdue in the eyes of most people, considering the billions of dollars the NCAA makes off of college football and college basketball alone. But as far from a cure-all, I have no problem with athletes being paid, but I don't think it'll solve many complaints among the athletes. It won't take long before the majority of them realize they won't be getting paid. Their names, images, and likeness aren't worth much unless they're a star football player or basketball player from a major university. And only the biggest stars will be raking in the bucks. Star quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, a linebacker or defensive back here and there. But the vast majority of their teammates won't be making money. One or two star basketball players will be raking in the bucks, while their teammates won't be. It'll be much like the NFL and the NBA, where the big stars get the huge contracts, while the majority of their teammates are playing for the league minimum or close to it. And how many athletes in sports other than football and basketball do you think will be cashing in? Not many. And there's certain to be a disparity in the number of male athletes who get sweet deals for the use of their name, image, and likeness compared to female athletes. You think that won't reach a boiling point? Opening the door to college athletes for NIL will make a small number of athletes happy. The rest will still feel like they're getting a raw deal. And the NCAA is considering some rule changes for basketball that could be in place for next season, and I am all for these. One would allow players to commit 6 fouls in a game instead of 5 before fouling out. They would also be allowed a maximum of 4 fouls per half before fouling out. As fans, we all want to see the best players on the court, right? No Illini fan wanted to see Ayo Dosunmu or Kofi Cockburn head to the bench with 15 minutes to play in the first half after drawing 2 quick fouls. Another change would give officials the freedom to call technicals on players who flop. I'm all for this too. Flopping is weak defense. Stop acting and play defense. A third change would reduce the number of timeouts by combining team timeouts with media timeouts in some instances. Again, make this happen. I can't stand all the timeouts that make these games drag. Do all of the above, NCAA. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a couple of isolated showers working in, a little more steady rain, and a few isolated thunderstorms a bit further to the south. Not concerned with that, although could see a sprinkle or a light shower here through this evening. Frost advisory goes into effect after midnight tonight. Could have a couple of frosty nights ahead, but temperatures close to 70 by Friday.
All right, thanks, Candice.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.